All right, hello and welcome, Turtle Riders, to Uncle Turtleboy's Late Night Garage Podcast. As I'm speaking right now, because I don't have a producer, I'd have a producer do this if I had one. I am just posting the link to this on our several Facebook pages: Clarence with Emerson, Turtleboy Sports Forever, and Just Plain Turtleboy. So go ahead, if you haven't liked those pages. The Turtleboy page is almost up to 10,000. The other one's almost up to 15,000. Let's keep that momentum going. Who cares? If they take us down, we just keep rebuilding, whatever. All right? So, before we get started with the program, guys, I'd just like to remind you fine people out there that this episode is brought to you by our good friends over at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. Guys and gals, if you have one of those old rickety garage doors, you know what I'm talking about? Those old ones where you got to get out of the car. Like my parents have one of these. The garage is basically a storage unit. It's like a freaking, it's where it turns into a shed. Garages are not sheds, people. Garages are garages, right? They're meant to park your cars, okay? If you have a garage, if you're lucky enough to have one, and you don't have to live in like ask people in Somerville, right, or Cambridge, how much they would kill to have a friggin' garage. If you have a garage, do it right. Call our friends up at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. They will come over that day. They will give you a price that is so fair. It will blow your doors off, no pun intended. You're probably going to hire them right on the spot, right then and there, all right, because the price is going to be so fair. They're going to get it done that day. They're going to give you a nice little clicker. You're going to press the button. Boom, garage door goes up. Boom, garage door goes down. It's going to add value to your house and change your life forever. You will thank me later. Check them out. Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. All right, so with us tonight, we have a special guest because the couple things I want to talk about tonight all kind of relate to her, and that is Bristol. How you doing, Bristol?
Hey, guys, I'm good.
Yeah. Can everybody hear her all right? Let me make it sure. Sometimes you never know with the mics here, but I think we're good. Let me see. How's the crowd? How's the crowd looking right now?
We're at 84.
Okay. Hey, that's not a bad start. We get up there. All right, so want to talk about a couple things tonight. The first thing I want to discuss tonight is the story that Bristol broke on, I think it was Tuesday, right? If I recall?
Yeah, Tuesday night.
Yeah. So tell us about it's the one about the football coaches and the racist text messages. I didn't even know. Usually I know when there's a story in the works. I didn't even know this one because it wasn't in the inbox or anything. Tell us about the origins of this story and how you found out about it.
Yeah, actually, I kind of got into it late. So the guys did Masshole Mitch and producer Eddie and Twitch. They did a lot of that work. This tip came in and they vetted everything out, and I just kind of threw it together and put it up. And at first, when they first started the story, I was like, I don't even know if this is newsworthy, right? Because to me it was just text. I'm like, yeah, this guy's he's a racist prick.
Yeah.
But I don't know, But then they're explaining the context to me, and I guess these coaches have been having these just ridiculously racist and derogatory conversations about these sixth graders that they're coaching for over a year minimum, right? Yep. No. And it was brought to the attention of the president of the league, who was it gave him a one-liner, yeah, I understand, and that's it. And so a year goes by, nobody does anything, and parents keep complaining because their kids are getting treated like shit. And I understand, I was a little bit worried, to be honest, or I don't know what Unk's going to think about this, because I know football's a man's sport and it's manly and full contact, and you don't want to pussyfoot around these kids or whatever, but they're in sixth grade, they're 11 and 12.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that part.
Yeah. No, they're a little young for that. So, I put it out, and it really, the guys told me, this is going to blow up. And I was like, yeah, maybe. And it definitely did. And I guess today, we've now been scrubbed of all credit.
Yeah, it's like that's what really pissed me off with the story. So you wrote the blog, and I actually read it, and I called you about it because I was a little confused about the way it was initially written. And my big concern was like, I'm like, this has big potential. I want to make sure this is done, right. And not that it wasn't done right or anything like that, but I just wanted to focus more on the big issue in that story, which was, and Brett and I will talk about this more on the weekend, I'm sure. But that was like, why, like, the league is aware of this, and like the racist coach said what he said, right? The league is aware of it though, and they did nothing. That was the big part of the story, right? So you write this, and then on Wednesday, I'm looking at traffic. It's like, holy shit, this one blew up, just like we knew it would, and it starts. The mainstream media picks up on it, right? And I think the Metro West Daily News or the Framingham Source, one of those two organizations, they wrote about it, right? And they don't credit us, and that pissed me off because then WCVB and WHDH, they all write about it. And they link sources. Like, they don't, any media outlet gives credit to wherever they saw it from first. That's just how things work in the journalism industry. So they link Metro West Daily News and like, as first reported on blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't first reported there. It was first reported by you. And that pissed me off.
Right, like days ago. And I know it was a Framingham Source we've been going back and forth with.
God.
And that dumb bitch is like, I got my tip Monday night at 8:30. Yeah, well, we got ours Friday at 11. Okay.
Can I ask you?
So not only did you get your tip later than we did, but you couldn't vet what we vetted in 4 days fast enough in one. Like,
yeah. Now I assume it must have come from one of the coaches, right? I mean, you don't have to say who or anything like that. But how else would you be privy to this?
Someone, it was close to it, yeah. And I mean, overall, what we're kind of gathering here is that there's been a lot of objections from parents, with these coaches for a while, and this Jason Smith, the president here, people almost fear him. It seems like, because the media is cowering to him. He goes, "I didn't know about this until 48 hours ago."
Okay, and
which is bullshit.
That makes me furious because when I see that. That this guy who clearly was aware of it on October 22nd, and thank you for pointing that out to me. And when I initially put it in there, I was like, I thought it said October 22nd, no, 26th, 2019. I just assumed it was like a week and a half ago. No. 2018. This aware of this, and he acknowledges it. He writes an email back. What do you say, like, thank you or something like that?
I completely understand.
I completely understand. AKA, like, I'm going to look into it. That's what that sounds like to me. He doesn't, right? And just kind of, and these guys are still coaching. Now, in fairness, let me just say, when I first read it, the only concern I had, the language is inappropriate, right? It's wrong, it's immoral, all that stuff. My concern was, like, I'm like, the private aspect of the conversation, you know what I mean? That somebody can take one of your conversations and send it. What did you think of that? Or was it like do you consider this like a public conversation that they were having?
I mean, it was coaches only. Then again, they're communicating in the capacity of their position with the league, right?
Yep.
And they're talking about people's children like this.
Yes, that's not good. Not good.
No. I mean, they're naming out, like, oh, this kid's great-grandfather was nailing, spikes into the railroad.
Yeah,
like,
that's just
super racist.
It is.
And you can't take that attitude with the children you're supposed to be coaching.
Okay.
They're middle schoolers.
I totally agree. The only thing I was thinking was like, teacher's room conversations. You know what I mean? In the teacher's room, you shit on kids. You're like, oh, this kid, freaking dumbass, doesn't do anything. What's up?
In text, though?
No, and we certainly don't be like, ha ha ha, his granddaddy was a slave. Get it? Like, that's just caveman like humor. Like, that's not even. I don't get it. Oh, okay, because slavery is fucking hilarious. Like, get it? Like, all right, but and like you said in text too, it's like, how freaking stupid can you be? Honestly, I almost agree with it, just to punish them for being stupid. More than anything, like.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just can't even. Yeah, Nicholas says he did. He got applauded for the railroad comment.
Yeah.
Somebody actually was like, "You went full railroad. We could have just done cotton picking, but you went full KKK. Congratulations, awesome!" Like,
yeah.
No, that's like, who the fuck are you? I can't believe that people like that actually exist.
I know, and in a group too. It's like the group mentality
right.
of all the like they assume everyone else is going to be cool with it. Now, was that
Yeah, I mean,
was the
it just
whistleblower was he in the group a Syrian?
um. So we'll get it. Like, I'm afraid to even say
Okay,
things
we don't
until
have
we
to get into
publish
that.
it.
We don't have to get
Because
into that.
God knows the Framingham Source is probably lurking in the comments,
Right.
waiting to claim that she got it first. But yeah, there's a little bit more to the story with that, with the Syrian. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Because the only reason I'm wondering is because I'm like, it had to be an all-white group, or else. I mean, that's crazy. That's even crazier if they knew a black guy was in the group and they were saying like "kill baby N-words." That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm assuming that it was all white, but I mean, like you do that shit when you're not, operating in the capacity of some sort of youth worker. That's just highly inappropriate.
Yeah, totally. All right. So anyway, let's talk about so this whole thing. So they basically rip you off. So this Metro West Daily News reporter rips you off or whatever, and then the Framingham Source does too, and we call them out for it because they need to get called out for it. It's complete bullshit. And like you said, the coach or the head of the league knew about it, and they interview him, and they fire 3 coaches. And guess what? They don't name any of the coaches. Now, we now know who the coaches are. We haven't published their names yet, but we are aware of who the 3 coaches are. We have been tipped off about that. Nobody else has that. We'll probably publish it tomorrow. But it's just so fucked up how the guy is like, like the guy, he's like playing the savior now. The guy that helped cover this up. He's like, yeah, we fired those racist douchebags. Oh, we're on it. I think he said I just found out about it in the last 48 hours.
Yeah, that's just an out and out lie. And I mean,
documented.
At some point, it was documented. At some point, I got CC'd on an email chain with the board, right?
Yep.
And I don't know who did that exactly. Whoever you are, God bless you. But I'm watching as they're like pretty much going through damage control, right? Like, what's this TV news? Are they even credible? I want hard facts before we go into this. They're just like running around. They're kind of squabbling about, well, we just fired 3 coaches with no conversation. I did know before it was published that they were firing coaches. It's just like, I quite frankly didn't have the time to follow up.
You were tired or something. You're not your normal self.
I don't think they realized that that I was on there. And then finally I stepped in and said, hey, this is my name. I published that article. I vetted my work. We ran a background check on the numbers in question. We verified that they were it. We redacted them, so we're not doxing people. But, I'll send you what I have unredacted. This is legitimate.
Yep.
So then they go back and they go, well, can you send the email proving that he got the text? And it's like, it's in the freaking article, but I resent it again. And I think this speaks volumes to whose story this really is. There is an attorney investigating this whole thing now, right? Internally.
Okay.
And he emailed me.
Oh, wow.
He didn't, to my knowledge, he didn't email the Framingham Source or Metro West or anything. He emailed me.
That says a lot, right? I mean, because they're like, he knows. He knows who has the juice.
Right.
Yeah.
And they do too. You know what I mean? They do too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just thought the whole thing was it was just another example. And I loved all the people being like, well, is this credible? Should we really trust him? It's like, bitch, we got screenshots. We got receipts. What are you talking about? Is this credible? Like, what else do you need to see? At this point, I want to say it's like almost unacceptable to even ask that question. Like, you're not a well-informed citizen if you're not familiar with our work at this point. I'm sorry. It's like, especially if you're on the internet. If you're like, my grandfather and you're not on the internet, that's one thing. But if you're on the internet and you don't know about us and you're just not paying attention, it's like these people have been so trained, if you will, to only trust the corporate-controlled mainstream media, which is insane because corporations are, run by ad dollars, essentially. Like, CNN's like all the, like, you saw this week. Did you see what this week happened with ABC and NBC with Harvey Weinstein and the Epstein cover-ups at those 2 stations?
No, I've been like out of the loop on everything.
So, really quick, on NBC last week, we found out that they knew about Harvey Weinstein. Ronan Farrow came to them initially with the story, and they elected not to run with it because they protect their own. Harvey Weinstein was one of theirs. right? Bill Cosby worked at NBC for a long time. Matt Lauer worked at NBC for a long time. They didn't run it, right? And then we saw with ABC, this anchor on a hot mic she didn't realize her mic was on, and she was ranting about how she had the Epstein story 3 years ago, but her boss would not let her run it, right? Because they're gutless and they're cowardice. And you realize they're like, wait, man, these people, you can't trust them like at all. So this idea that like, well, is Turtleboy credible? It's like, well, I certainly hope we're more credible than ABC and NBC. Are you kidding me? Like, I would never kill a story because like Hillary Clinton would be mad at us, you know? It's crazy talk.
Well, we're the only ones that ran with and published and are sticking to the fact that this guy, Jason Smith, was aware of what was going on and covered it up.
Right.
Because I'm not afraid of him. We're not afraid of him.
Yeah.
Point blank, and we have no allegiance to that. I mean, I didn't get offended per se when I saw that they were questioning the credibility, because maybe they don't know.
Yeah.
But you have to be a fucking idiot if you can't click on a blog and see that. Like, 9 times out of 10, we're always putting primary documents
and links
right there embedded into the text.
Right.
So there's no guesswork. If you can't read a primary document and realize that this ups the credibility substantially, then you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, it is. And it's like, how are people not noticing what we're noticing? That like the guy knew about it. Obviously, there's proof. The Framingham Source has printed the proof, right? We've printed the proof. And then the guy comes on and he says something else that he just found out about. It's like, and they're not questioning. I'm not ingrained to Framingham politics, but I live in Worcester. Like I grew up, this blog was built on shitting on the establishment. Apparently they don't do that. I guess that's why they don't like us, because we take on the establishment. That's always been our role, whatever. You see the Framingham Source here. Now, you laughed at this, and I agree, too. They're saying that Source, I love how she capitalizes Source, like it's this freaking important thing. Source, as a news outlet, does not reveal its sources, but we did receive this tip on Monday night at 8:30 p.m. The first tip we received is the screenshot below, minus the names and kids and women. The news outlets followed up, verified the information, and requested a statement from Framingham Youth Football, whatever. The statement was published yesterday. So, first of all, let's be honest. If you had not published that story on Tuesday night, would they have published theirs this week?
Absolutely not.
Of course. So, like, stop it with this. Like, oh, we were about to. We just needed to verify sources. Like, no, you were sitting on it. That's what you were doing. And then you had no choice but to talk about it because, let's be honest. We shamed the Framingham media into actually covering a Framingham story. It's embarrassing. And now she said that she got it on 8:30. You had it like 3 days before that.
November 1st at 11 o'clock in the morning.
There you go. So
that was Friday.
And if she has it at Monday at 8:30, why aren't you running with it by then? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why you didn't publish it till the next night? What were they doing all Tuesday when they couldn't do this?
I mean, it took us because we had it Friday and didn't run it until Monday, but because we wanted to verify that they were cell phone numbers, right? Anybody can throw anything up. We just wanted to verify that they matched up, and they did. So I can understand having to vet your work or whatever and verify, but point blank, yeah, we started a chain reaction, and then she said, well, I had a statement from the league that they were firing coaches. Yeah, the only reason they were firing coaches is because of what we published.
Exactly. Like if that none of those guys would all be working this weekend. They would all be working, coaching the kids, whatever. All right. Now, I mean, it's just, and I don't feel bad for them whatsoever. It's like I've never said I don't want to seem all virtuous. I hate being like that, but like I've said a lot of fucked up shit. I've never just been like kill baby N-words or like slavery, get it? Like I'm not. I like to think I'm more satirical than that and a little bit more witty. I've said fucked up jokes before. I'm not gonna lie, I've crossed lines, whatever, right? But if it's not funny and it's not humorous, then it's just fucking stupid. It's juvenile, But
I don't know. If you're gonna be working with kids, maybe don't viciously shit all over them.
That too. That's true. They're shitting on their specific kids. That's another thing. They're not just making broad generalizations about black people. They're like, fuck this kid because he's got a slave grandfather. Fuck him. Like, that's what they're saying.
Right. Or like, hey, the fucking mandatory players, can we just shoot them dead already? Like, are you like these kids are in 6th grade?
Yeah.
Like, what is misfiring in your brain that you're taking like sixth grade fucking football that seriously to be like this goddamn dead weight. Like they're in sixth grade,
Yeah,
they're all.
I was reading. That was another thing. I'm reading something like, "Bitch, this is sixth grade football. Stop it." About like, I never played youth football as a kid. I played it when I got to high school. But it really is like a cult, like youth football. It's like one of the craziest like groups. It's like cheering parent. My daughter does cheering. That's a freaking cult. Let me tell you about it. Don't ever sign your kid up for cheering. You ever have to do that?
Yeah, my daughter didn't. No, my daughter didn't last. We tried cheer, and she was like, "This is not my thing." No,
just stick to soccer, guys. I'm telling you, soccer is the most basic, fundamental sport. They just kick a friggin' ball around. You get to go there, pull up your chair, watch, sit around, dick around for an hour, right? And that's it. That's all. I mean, soccer is the easiest thing to do. But anyway,
oh yeah, my son played soccer. He was terrible at it too. That's why they were little kids. They were all kind of like.
And it's just something. Like, soccer is just something to do. That's all soccer is. Right. It's like
any sports before high school is just something to do.
Not football.
Like just football's to be clear.
But football is like a freaking cult for like 7 or 8 year old football kids. Hockey is another one that's like a cult at that age. If you ever sign your kid up for hockey, say goodbye to your social life on the weekends, especially. You're waking up at friggin' 4 a.m. to get rink time. Oh God, I'll never do that ever. I'll stick to soccer for now. All right. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, don't. I'll go on a cheer rant another time, guys. But my wife is into cheering, and thus my daughter has to be into cheering too, and I can't do it. My daughter secretly tells me all the time that, like, she's like, "I like soccer more, Daddy." I'm like, "Yes, you keep saying that. Just keep saying that, you know." Keep saying that. Yeah. But anyway, let me talk about the next topic here briefly. So there was the PURR Cafe thing that happened last year kind of got reinvigorated the last couple weeks. And there's a secret group called Meow Meow PURR Pals. And yeah, I swear to God. And they just exist to kind of like, they were talking about Diane before the blog was ever written. There was a lot of people talking about Diane. That's why we wrote about it. A lot of people were talking about it. And, South Shore Turtle Girl was the first one to kind of take it all and put it onto a story, if you will, a 4-part story. That freaking story still cracks me up every single time I read it because she's just got such a unique writing style to her, and the topic is funny. It's great shit. And South Shore Turtle Girl is a flaming liberal, guys. Okay, like she voted for freaking Bernie Sanders. That's all you need to know. She's a Bernie bro. All right, so she's a diehard liberal. And she's just not one of those, like, I need to be saved, I'm this victim of the patriarchy. She doesn't buy into that aspect of liberalism. So she writes this, you would think that, like, liberal chick writing about cats, and like this woman abusing cats, is something that these social justice cat people could all agree with. That's what these people are. Cat people are always social justice warriors. So these social justice cat people, they don't like the fact that she wrote that blog because I think it comes down to they don't want to agree with us on anything. They want war, right? Like they want to hate us. They prefer to just hate us all the time. So the fact that she would write something that is agreeable towards them is like their worst nightmare. You know what I mean?
I'm confused by it because it's a freaking masterpiece.
It is a masterpiece, and they know it too. They know it's a masterpiece, and they don't want to give us the W. You know what I mean? They don't want to be like, well, Turtleboy did something good, right? Turtleboy exposed this crazy drunk lady, blah blah blah, right? They want to be the ones to do that. They don't want us to be the hero, if you will, because they think we're douchebags already, and they just don't want to get along with us. That's what it comes down to. So this is what was posted in the group the other day. Morning, everybody. I hope you've been enjoying the Cat Cafe related drama. It's pretty great. We got a bumper crop going on here. We're rich in Cat Cafe drama. I'm just throwing in a quick official mod note. There was a post posted last night that linked to TB Daily News that I went ahead and removed just now. I had previously set up a rule stating that there would be no links or reference to a specific news site known as Turtleboy Sports for various reasons. Mostly that Turtleboy is hot, bigoted garbage, and you can ask me more about that if you want. Turtleboy apparently tried to slap on some camo paint and was rebranding itself under a sister site, TB Daily News, to masquerade as a more official news. Since it's been a while Since Turtleboy Sports was relevant, I don't expect anyone to have remembered the last time I turbo-axed a Turtleboy article. But Turtleboy does have PURR on their hit list for defamatory journalism, so just letting people know up front. Check to see if an article is related to Turtleboy Sports or aiding Carney before posting it. And any links to Turtleboy Sports should be reported and will be removed to the Klingon afterlife for the dishonored dead. Meta commentary and discussion on how Turtleboy is hitlisting PURR's owner in their search for defamatory targets is totally acceptable because it's weird drama and we're all about that. I don't understand what that means. Do you understand that last part?
Apparently.
What's meta commentary?
Yeah, meta commentary. So they can essentially talk shit about how we're talking shit about Diane.
They just can't link it. They just don't want to give us the clicks.
They don't want to give us the clicks, and they don't want to give us any kudos, but they can pretty much shit on both of us, and that's cool.
Well, they showed us. I'm gonna lose that freaking half a fraction of a penny in ad revenue that I would have gotten from those clicks.
Well, that's the moral high ground right there.
Yes, the thing about it is, if I hadn't infiltrated this group, I wouldn't even know they said that. You know what I mean? Right. So much for that. But it's like, it's very clear reading this. It's like, you guys don't like Diane. We wrote an article exposing Diane, and you don't like that we did that. Like, that's freaking weird, right? And so this chick, Michaela Spong, writes, I honestly don't know much about Turtleboy. I read some of the Turtleboy PURR Cat Cafe posts, but then never read anything by him after that. If someone didn't mind filling me in. So this person doesn't know anything about Turtleboy. She just read the cat blogs and enjoyed them. So, how do you think this is going to go? This question opened up a shitstorm. It starts off with this guy, Drew Starr. He says he's full of racist, misogynist, hateful bullshit. And this woman writes, yikes. Glad I never read the other articles he wrote. I hate bigots. They really piss me off. First of all, thank you, Michaela, for your service. Okay, there's not disliking bigots, and then there's hating them. You took it to the next level. You hate them, and they really piss you off. You, ma'am, are a warrior and a queen among all social justice warriors. So thank you for your service. But this guy, Drew Starr, the usual, he's racist, misogynistic, whatever. Another person says he has doxxed and harassed a rape victim in the burner community. Do you remember?
I know what he's talking about.
You remember the burner community?
Oh, I know exactly. Who's the only person that we have an issue with in the burner community? And I'm sorry, but the inverse is true on that subject.
That would be Miss Charlotte McFarland. So,
right.
Now, she was not the original one. We had beef with the burner community I'm going to give you guys a brief history lesson here, right? There was an incident a couple years ago, late 2016, in which some guy named Josh Swallick reviews one of our advertisers at the time, JJM Insurance, with a 1-star review. Okay? This is what they used to do. They used to go after our advertisers and do that. However, he owns a business himself, Eternity Ironworks. So what do you think we did? Take a wild guess. Bristol, what do you think? So this guy attacks our advertisers, gives them a 1-star review.
Oh, no, I remember this blog.
Yeah, okay. And so that they then went on his site and they started giving him 1-star reviews. That's if you own a business, the last thing you want to be doing is attacking our advertisers, because obviously we're going to do it right back to you. Most people don't own a business, so we don't have that option. You make it very easy. So we go on there and do that. And then this dude and this chick here, Ayo, her name's Ayo, and this is when we first discovered her. She has the audacity to complain that we're doing that. A racist publication didn't like being called out and started a flame war. So stop right there. It's not that we don't like being called out. It's that we don't like you going after JJM Insurance because they have nothing to do with any of this. What are you talking about, right? They started a flame war on the page of a very important community business. Please give a 5-star review to them to combat the 1-star reviews who have never patronized there. Obviously, if you have no experience of the work, you can comment. You can comment this. Just cite that you are there to negate and call out false claims by others who have not experienced it. So we look into this chick. She's part of this like burner community. They just play with fire and shit. And this is the only reason this chick came to our attention, right? is because she started attacking our advertisers and basically calling us racist. And when you do that, I'm sorry. That is an attack on my character. That is something I take personally. I'm going to fight back. Just understand that. I will fight back when you do that. So it's not like some harmless thing you're doing. You just call me a racist and trying to smear my brand. No fucking biggie. I'll let that one go. No, that's not how it works. So I have the audacity to fight back against this chick when she posts this. And ever since then, she's been playing the victim. Oh my God, he attacked me, he doxed me. Apparently, she's friends with Charlotte McFarland, who's also in the burner community. And Charlotte started, I had to block Charlotte over there because she's freaking, come at us so many times. And I just had to block her because she's a complete lunatic. And I never.
Level 5 clinger.
What was that?
She's a level 5 clinger, that one.
Absolutely insane. I mean, you should have seen her in court when she started screaming at the judge when she didn't get a harassment order for the second time, right? And, yeah, so this chick, these burner people, they can't get over this shit. There's like years ago. It's like, get over it, girl. Report this rag. They set off on a campaign of negative reviews against a business none of them have ever patronized in retaliation for being called out as a racist, sexist, and bigoted, right? And so they're like, I mean, the irony of this all, I mean, Bristol, it's like, you literally attacked our page with 1-star reviews, and you're furious that we did the same thing to the guy who did it to us. I mean, right. What is wrong with these people? This is what we're up against.
It's definitely a false equivalency there, just this double standard. It's absurd to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, this goes on and on. So, let's go back to the comments. So, she jumps in here, 8 in Flames. It's a dox rag that runs manufacturing rage in its reader base. It targets someone to assault, frequently some poor, trans, they always say the trans thing, or struggling with addiction. Yeah, that I guilty as charged with that. And encourages its, blah, blah, blah. She goes on and on, the usual nonsense. But Eden Carney pretends he is not the one responsible for any given article and keeps several fake Facebook profiles to maintain the illusion that he is a former school teacher who quit ahead of sexual harassment charges from a student. So the usual making up shit sexual harassment charges of a student. I mean, this is libelous, whatever. These people are freaking evil. They just make shit up. But you know what, Bristol? I'm in a spirit tonight of reconciliation. I was inspired by the prayer vigil I went to last week. So I am not going to shit all over these people like I usually would and make fun of them. I am going to respectfully explain to them why they are wrong. So, this girl, I don't know how you pronounce this name. I think it's like probably Romaine.
It's not. That's not a government. I'm calling it right now. That is not her government name. Nobody named their kid Ayo Odinflame.
Oh no, not her. I'm talking about Sema, SEMA. I think it's like I think it's Romanian or Bulgarian, some probably Eastern European. So she comes in here and she's like, Turtleboy frequently, and this girl seems to be mildly familiar with what we do, and she's in this PURR group, and so she doesn't really know what's going on, so she starts asking legitimate questions, and watch how people answer them, right? So she says, Turtleboy frequently exposes fraudulent GoFundMe campaigns. I don't read their content every day, but from what people have shared, the articles seem justified in exposing. I thought he went after bigots. How is he bigoted? Thank you! Like, literally, what did you do 2 days ago? You called out racists. Like, that's
right.
What do we do? Like, we do it all the time. So, thank you, Sema. You're a very smart, it's a great question. But, wrong crowd to ask it to. Let's see how they respond. So, she goes, how is he bigoted? This answer is the funniest thing I've ever read. Let's see what Drew Starr says. By being a bigot. That's how I'm bigoted. By being a bigot. I mean... That shows the intellectual bankruptcy of these individuals. Now, Drew, okay, I'm sure you're going to watch this. I think you're misunderstanding us, Drew. I think there's some type of common ground we can reach here, right? Like, we both agree racism's bad. We both agree cat abuse is bad. We've bonded on two things right there. So why don't we focus on what unites us instead of what divides us? Please stop. Let's stop dividing each other. Let's stop calling each other bigots, right? Especially when we don't have any evidence of it. And I love their answer. She goes, that really doesn't explain a whole lot. So God bless you, Sema. So it goes on. There's like a dozen comments before yours describing things they've done. I'm not going to link specific shitty things he's done. So I have no evidence, but he's shitty.
Right.
But I can tell you, He's directly targeted people I know for being Jewish, black, and Indian. Remember that blog, Bristol, where I was like, oh, man, this guy, he's really not so bad, but he's Jewish, so fuck him, right? That was a good blog. Where'd she go?
I know. That's my favorite one.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite. Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Or I like the one I also did where it's like, man obeys law, but he's black, so ha 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 ha. That was another good one. I like that one a lot. And so she's just like, oh, that doesn't sound good. But she doesn't really say much. She goes, I'm not disputing sharing the article here. I'm information gathering. As I do not have time to sift through all the Turtleboy articles, I usually see his articles when someone shares them, and yesterday was the first I've heard of this other activity. She goes, at least some of them suck too, but they're not based in misogyny or being monetized by the speakers. I don't know what that means. I personally have no problem if those who insist on unfounded personal attacks against her humanity were removed from the group. So this is where they try, Bristol, to take the moral high ground. They're saying, well, yeah, we shit all over Diane for being a crazy drunk lunatic who's trying to hurt cats, right? But we don't attack her. We don't have personal attacks against her. So we're better than him. That's what they're saying with this shit.
But I mean, I think we can all agree that her Franzia.
Are we losing you? You there, Bristol?
Are hilarious.
Hold on. Are we losing you? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So what are you saying about Franzia? What is something's up? It's Skype. Are you using a mic or are you using a phone? What are you using? Hello?
I'm on Skype.
Okay, it's just going silent sometimes and breaking up. You're not using a mic?
No, I'm not.
Okay, that's good now. So what are you saying about Franzia?
That her Franzia-fueled rants at midnight pretending to be her cat are hilarious.
They are!
That's, like, unilaterally true.
Right, and that's just funny. And it's like, that's not... And yeah, we are... I wouldn't say attacking. It's like making fun of. Like, there's humor in that. Like, this woman is getting really drunk and only posting at midnight and, like, attacking certain people, and it's freaking wild. It's hilarious shit. So she goes on to say, I didn't know any of this. The article I've seen, although they were very snide, seemed like they were written to expose people for nefarious deeds and hypocritical behavior. Thank you, Seema. God, you're awesome, right? Fraudulent GoFundMe campaigns, open racism on social media, false character assassinations, etc. I read the article about Diane, and it seemed like this author wasn't Aiden. It was a female from the South Shore. Thank you! Thank you! So it goes on. And this is what Drew... So now... What was that?
It's right in the name.
I know, but they're saying that I'm making that character up.
Oh,
that's what they're alleging here, okay? So he goes on and he says... he's going to do a little mansplaining here. Women can internalize misogyny. What the fuck does that even mean? What the... I love that a man is telling a woman, "Oh no, you're the misogynist. You're the one that doesn't like women, and you don't even know it. You're just internalizing it." Now, here as a man, I'm going to explain that to you, okay? But I'm totally not sexist. You just can't think for yourself because you're a silly woman, right? That's what he's saying here. Come on, Drew. Be better. You're a better guy than that, Drew. Come on. And given the account is anonymous in Turtleboy's history of lying and manipulation, I have no reason to believe it is actually written by a woman. And that's kind of why I wanted you on tonight. She won't come on anymore because she's all freaked out about her voice, obviously. But, you've obviously talked to her many times.
Right.
She's real, right?
Yeah.
We've had her on here before, right? So, it just annoys me when they're like, when I get blamed for not blame, but it's like, yo, I really do with fucking people. I talk to them. I swear to God, they're fucking real. They're fucking real. And they, it gets to me, man. I don't know why it does. I shouldn't let it get to me, huh?
Well, no, I mean, I've been accused of being your inner diva a million times, and I definitely show not only my face, but I showed my boobs that one time.
Yes,
I'm a real person.
That was a big hit. That was a big hit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people go on to say, she says, Seema, the voice of reason here, says, very true, but usually misogynistic is used to describe male and female bias. I thought about that as he has gone through great lengths to cover his tracks and identity, but I have no doubt he has other writers helping him. Thank you! And he goes, and then Michaela comes back. The OP says, okay, so I had to see for myself. I do trust all of you. If I was asked for an example, I want to be able to give one. There were some very unnecessary and insulting comments about Diane going through menopause in one of the articles. Dun, dun, dun. There's just so much sexism in that one remark. Grrr! Okay? Women have been told that because we menstruate, go through menopause, that it takes over our ability to make sound decisions. Not true! It also was a reason used against us for our own health care and is still a problem for us getting proper medical attention today, especially for women of color. I like how they always have to add everything, especially trans women of color in wheelchairs. They get it worse than everyone else. Fuck that comment. That one comment.
I remember the last time I went to the doctor and he was like, not today. No, you're on your period. I cannot treat you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that one too. That was a good one. Well, first of all, it's like, I think they called her a menopausasaurus rex or something like that because it's fucking satire. It's humor. It's like, and yes, Diana is of menopausal age and she's a ratchet and she's wild. And yeah, she made a little joke in there about that. Oh my God, you can't make jokes about menopause? You can't do that. Oh, fuck this. Oh my God, get over it. Do these people believe this stuff, Bristol? Are they honestly offended by it?
I mean, that's a good question. I think it depends. I know. I don't think they're honestly offended by the jokes or the words themselves because I feel like I'm in good with the SJWs and the liberals, right? Like I actually have a fan base of liberals. I could probably make a joke about, myself going through menopause or something. It would be okay because I'm a female.
Yeah.
Not that South Shore is too, obviously, but, they don't see her face there, out there being very feminine. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they're making assumptions, but I think they have like a running list, like a roster of like, this is what these people can say and this is what these people can't say. And that's fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, I mean, it's just like, there's no freaking way you can honestly be like, oh my God, a menopause reference, a joke. Oh my God, a fucking joke. We can't have that. There's no way. These people just want to be outraged about something because they want to show off to the rest of the world how outraged they are so that people will pat them in the back. That's all this is. None of it's real. And he goes on to say, he's full of racist, misogynistic, hateful bullshit. Yikes. Glad I never read other articles he wrote. I hate bigots. Oh, I already had the one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I love that shit. And then down here, most of the attacks in here on her in here have been based on her actions, not her identity. First of all, her identity is a drunk menopausal white woman. So chill out. It's not like she's transgender woman of color. There, Sparky. All right. About half the population goes through menopause. That wasn't a personal attack. It was a sexist. I'm like an attack. Oh, it's a freaking joke. It's a joke. Jesus Christ, it's not even one I made. It's one a woman made, too. So women can't make menopausal jokes? Jesus Christ. That's what she says. A female wrote that, and she goes, women can be sexist. It's disappointing.
Oh, my God.
But I've met sexist women. Oh, get the fuck over yourself, girl. Right? And then she goes on to say, actually, I think I've read this one. She goes on to say, I didn't know any of this. He exposes most of the stuff. I looked for any articles on Aiden and mainly found comments on his mom and the yoga studio lawsuit down on the South Coast. There you go. And then here's one of my favorite ones. This girl, Nicole LeVay, says, I once read an article just focused on two people. One was a very adult man and the other was an underage teenager. The article chose to focus on the teen and her parents as well as their Facebooks. He dragged that poor girl through the mud. While she may be making bad choices, she's literally a teen who may have been pregnant. Can't remember. In a truly messed up situation. Your guess is as good as mine. Does that blog ring a bell? I have no idea. I have no freaking clue. I don't even know what that means. I think she's saying there, like, the blog was about two people, an adult male and an underage teenager, and we focused on the underage teenager instead of the adult male. Therefore, we're racist against underage teenagers. I don't know. But then she goes on to say this, and this one I laughed at. Another article focused on a convicted sex offender working to build an elementary school in my town. Very bad situation. So we all agree. Elementary, registered sex offenders, building elementary schools in your town, not good. Right?
Not
We
good
agree.
for the community, no.
Not good. Bad. So we agree on that. So she goes on. But the article chose to focus on the guy's crossed eyes. It's a physical impairment, and it doesn't add anything to the article. So now I remember this one. I found this one. This was a recent one from Marlboro. It involved this, like I said, a level 3 sex offender and a dude fucking cross-eyed. Like, it was hilarious. Look at this dude. I mean,
honestly,
it's fucking funny. It's like, yes.
All I can think of is remember when that guy. This is kind of like an obscure one too. That guy wrote into the inbox and wanted us to like roast this girl that wouldn't like answer his calls or whatever, and he didn't have any hands. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I do remember.
And I just roasted him for not having hands.
That's right. He had no hands. How was he
did that. I'm going to admit that out loud. It was fucking funny.
Who was the other cross-eyed guy? We had another cross-eyed guy. Oh, I remember that one. The guy that his girlfriend was out cheating. I think you wrote that.
I only have eyes for you.
Yeah, she was cheating on her cross-eyed boyfriend with another dude, and they did a chew and screw in Fall River, and they got caught doing a chew and screw. That's how you got caught cheating on your boyfriend, on your cross-eyed boyfriend. And I'm sorry, if you're a ratchet and you're doing something wrong, and you're cross-eyed, we're gonna make cross-eyed jokes. Yes, is that taking away from the substance of the article? Guilty as charged. But it's freaking hilarious. You're freaking cross-eyed, and I'm sorry if you don't see the humor in that. I don't know what to tell you. The dude's freaking cross-eyed.
We talk like everybody does in their living rooms. We just do it in public.
Exactly. And guess what? These people do too. They make fun of... They want to seem all virtuous, but they would make fun of me. If, like, you know what I mean? I kind of got a big nose, right? Like, they would make fun of, like, physical things about me, right? I'm short. Like, they would have no problem doing that, right?
Oh, I get rashed on a lot. You know, my buddy there, Will, that I'm getting ready to meet up with on Friday or tomorrow, actually, right? Was like, she uses homosexual slurs, and then he was saying things about she was saying things about Anselmo's body, and then he proceeds to call me fat.
Yeah, like, it's like, oh,
you really went on the moral high ground there, buddy. I can't compete with that.
Yeah. I would recommend you stop being such a fag, dude. How about that? So anyway, it's like, look at this dude. Come on. Like, we're not going to make a comment about that. He rapes kids and shit. Oh, God forbid we point out that the kitty rapist is cross-eyed. Right? Give me a break.
Right.
Anyway, so these people are all mad. And the last comment on here says from him, Seema, who is now banned from the group, by the way. She's got the gray thing on her now, so she's kicked out. For asking questions. Those sites, at least in the past, I've had no inclination to check again recently. And so he's talking about TB Daily News, right? Trace back to the same IP address as the main site, Turtleboy. So, first of all, like this guy, like first of all, that doesn't make any sense, right? Do you and I share the same IP address?
No, I wouldn't think so.
But we write on the same blog.
Right.
So this idea that you can just... Oh, I know where this blog is being written because I traced the IP address. No, you didn't. You're a freaking liar. And that's what I hate about these people. They're just liars. They're just filthy liars, and nobody ever calls them out for lying. And if you do call them out for lying, they'll block you. I freaking hate them.
He might be talking about the website registration.
But
still...
that wouldn't trace your IP. I don't think.
I think it does have a static IP from registration that will usually
I know that's not true though, because I didn't make TB Daily News. My web developer did.
Oh, well then there you go.
Yeah.
Either way,
he's in Montague or Turner's
share
Falls,
the TB Daily News blogs on the Turtleboy, pages. Easy there, Master Hacker. There's an easier way to figure that out.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, not 100% proof. So at the very least, they're hosted by the same company on the same server. We are hosted by the same company because you get a 2-for-1 deal with that. So, of course, I'm going to save money doing that. Not 100% proof, but given how Turtleboy has had to switch ISPs over the years, I've never once switched ISPs. What are you talking about, right? If I switched ISPs, I wouldn't be banned from Twitter. I could get back on Twitter. Coupled with his own penchant for lying and creating false identities. Oh, God. So, anyway, I just wanted to address that because I'm going to do a little blog on it. And like I said, I like YouTube followers to get the content before everyone else. So you should be rewarded for that because you're the best Turtle Riders. And we're up to 7,200 subs, Bristol. Not too bad.
Yeah, no, we're doing good.
Not too shabby. We're getting there. We're on the way to 10,000. I'd like to see what this becomes if we keep this going. So anyway, why don't we take any questions? You guys have any questions for Bristol or I? You're on tomorrow, right, Bristol?
Yeah. So I'm supposed to be meeting Will Turbot at 6:30. We're gonna debate the merits of their activism. And then, on Sunday we'll be back, and we have some awesome new documents to go over.
Is he going to show up? Is Will Turbot going to show up, you think?
It's a 50-50. I mean, I did kind of message him today to be like, let's set some ground rules to, confirm. And, I mean, he's the one who challenged me.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't show up, I'm going to humiliate him.
Yeah, I mean, you know how many times Bitch Tits said he would come on the show and didn't? So I don't trust any of these people.
Bitch Tits always came on my show.
Did he?
We're buddies.
Did he? You actually had him on the show?
What?
Oh, that's right. He called in one time when you exposed
More than
him.
once.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. He would come on. At one point, he made a point to be like, "I'll go on with her, but not with you," because he's afraid of men.
Yeah. Oh
man. But I mean, we'll see. Either way,
right.
What he did was he. Did you see the clip of him challenging me to the debate? It was freaking hilarious.
No, I didn't. I'll have to go watch it.
As soon
oh no, I saw the
Turtle
one.
chick,
I saw that one.
The
Yeah.
Fear and Anselmo.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh God, fucking Anselmo.
Yeah, and then he says, "Well, I challenged her and she left the chat. I didn't leave the chat. He blocked me from the stream."
Coward.
But we got him afterwards, and he's saying he's going to be there. So 6:30 tomorrow, we're going to find out.
Yeah. So, what do we got for Nicholas says? Do you remember when you used to call the blog your local family-friendly feminist blog? I forgot about that actually. That's what I used to refer to this as, the local family-friendly feminist blog. We still are in many ways. I don't know about family-friendly really. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't have your kids read or listen to Turtleboy, not yet at least. But definitely a feminist blog.
Definitely.
What else we got going on? Other questions you guys have here? Who's Melissa that everyone's telling to leave? Is she a naughty girl? Anyway,
I have no idea.
Yeah. Other questions people have. If you guys don't have any other questions, let me know. Somebody says, KMC says, Bristol, how are you going to get him from talking over you?
I don't know. I usually just interject myself as is appropriate. If he continues to talk over me, then I'm going to consider that a concession, because if you can't give the other person the floor, it means you're afraid to, and therefore you lose.
Yeah, that's true too. I have no doubt you'll hold it down. You always do a good job moderating douchebags. You've had some real losers on your show, and you always give them a chance to say their piece, you know?
Yeah, I'm a friendly person, I think, sometimes, maybe.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sort of.
You're not like me. You're not like temperamental and explosive. I lose my temper with these douchebags, you know? Anyway, what else are people saying? You're a champ, Bristol. I bet Bristol laughs in his face. Man, they love you, man. Bristol.
I love them.
Yeah. Gonna be epic. All right. Any other questions you guys have before we call it a night, folks? Anything besides Bristol is great? We all agree on that?
I don't know. I'm a person.
Holy shit. I just got a text. Someone just got shot on my street.
What?
I swear to God. I just got a message from a cop buddy. It says, Aiden, someone just got shot on your road on the Princeton side. So that my road goes into Princeton. And so I guess someone got shot over there. There is 2 gun ranges. So that's interesting. I got to look into that. That's not good. Anyway, any other questions, guys? Any GRC updates? No. Not really. I'll follow up on that one later if I can. I'm too busy with my book right now. I'm trying to finish the book before. I really want it done before Thanksgiving so you can get out for the holidays.
I was going to ask you how the book was going. That was going to be my question.
I'm working on it a little bit every day. The Naughty List. It's not obviously going to be as long as the other book, but, you want to get it done, Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no gun range is going to be open right now. It's outdoors. That's a good point.
Right.
And I live in the hood, huh? I lived in Worcester my whole life. Nobody on my street ever got shot. I moved to freaking Holden. I live like 2 miles from where Vanessa Marcotti was killed. You remember that story?
I do. You should probably join the Crips.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, this is like freaking. I mean, I live right near the Princeton line, and she was killed right near the Holden line. So apparently, I'm like living in thug life over here. Holy shit!
Yeah, I definitely get a gang affiliation going on just to be on the safe side.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So there's going to be freaking cops coming up and down my street soon. All right. I'm going to go watch that now, actually. So, all right, guys. I'm going to call it a night then on that note. I got to go see this shit. All right, guys. We will see you all tomorrow night for Bristol show. Peace, Tartaritis.
Good night.